Chapter 6. A pony was thundering up behind them. They were neighing loudly. Could it be Mrs. Steeplechase? Pippa was too afraid to look. But no, surely the royal nanny was too large to gallop up like that. Turning her head, she saw there was Blossom. Blossom! Pippa exclaimed. What are you doing here? When I found the race course turned a corner, I saw you both from the cliff atop. You know you promised to watch me, and I knew you promised to let me down. So I guess something must be wrong, and that's why you were here on the beach. What happened? We found one of the golden horseshoes, Pippa said, pointing to the distant rocks. But it's gonna drown. You won't get there in time to retrieve it, Blossom said, galloping beside Stardust. I'll go for you, Relief slipped through Pippa, but it was quickly replaced with despair. But what about the race? You were the lead. I pulled out. Shabella matters more than just some stupid race, Blossom snorted. Besides, winning isn't fun. Helping your friends is way better. But how will you get the horseshoe off the rocks? With my hooves, Blossom said bravely. Pippa shook her head. The whirlpool is too strong. Blossom would need all 4 hoofs to be on the ground. I'll come with you, she declared. There isn't a time for you to stop for you, called Stardust, who was starting to pull Blossom, who was starting to pull ahead of Stardust. If Blossom was making sacrifices and putting herself in danger, then Pippa must get herself killed with Blossom. You don't have to stop! Come closer and I'll jump in your back, she shouted. Pippa, no! Stardust said. You're gonna get yourself killed! It's too dangerous! And you're scared of heights! Pippa was too busy conjuring the answer. As Blossom moved closer, Pippa noticed that Blossom was taller than Stardust. Could she manage to jump from one pony to the other without falling off? With a shudder, she ignored the pound sounds of Blossom and Stardust's hooves. Blossom matched her pace to Stardust's until she was exactly alongside her. She then closed the gap between them. Ready? Blossom called. Pippa swallowed hard. She felt dizzy, but there was no time to lose. She reached out for Blossom's mane. It was still braided with the dressage from the competition, so there wasn't much for her to hold on to. And how did she think her legs were going to get her over? Pippa soon realized she would have to get in a crouching position to jump from Stardust's back to Blossom's back. Pippa stared at the ground, tearing by. It seemed like a long way down. I can't do it, said scared little voice in her mind. But Pippa had already done so much on Shabella that she never thought it would be possible. Gathering up all of her courage, she held on tightly to Stardust's name. Then she decided she would do it on the count of 1, 2, 3. Slowly, she leaned forward, brought her feet back up behind her, and onto Stardust's back. Seeing the ground moving so fast made her feel sick. But Pippa refused to think that. She fixed her gaze on Stardust's mane. She got her feet into the right position. Her heart was racing with Stardust's hoof feet, and her mouth felt dry. Pippa took a deep breath. She pushed herself so she was crouching on Stardust's back. Now all she needed to do was jump over to Blossom. Pippa reached out for Blossom's braided mane. "I'm ready," she called. "Be careful," shouted Stardust. Pippa hesitated. Her head was spinning. "Are you sure about this?" called Stardust. Pippa didn't answer. She summoned up the last bit of courage and leaped. Her stomach dipped. She seemed to hang into the air forever. It was only seconds before she landed with a bump on the other pony's back. Blossom was lighter than Stardust, and she had a much bouncier stride. Pippa was flung up and down for a moment, then losing her balance, she slid sideways. "Help!" she screamed. Pippa hung on, her legs gripping tightly, more around Blossom's sides. Blossom misunderstood this movement. Seeing that Pippa was asking to go faster, she sped up. Lurching forward, Pippa screamed and clinged onto Blossom's braids so she wouldn't fall off. There wasn't a time. She pulled herself off to the middle of Blossom's back. She knew that she had been very lucky. Nothing gone wrong so far. Pippa leaned up forward and urged Blossom on. "Go, Blossom! Go, Pippa!" Stardust called as Blossom galloped ahead. Only the tops of the rocks were visible now. Blossom raced across the glistening wet beach and into the sea, her steps swelling as the water deepened. "Careful!" Pippa said, feeling Blossom strain against the current. "Look!" cried Blossom. "The horseshoe!" It was upside down and wedged between two rocks. Just then a large wave crashed into Blossom, so it made her stumble. "Oh!" Pippa squealed as the wave soaked her too. "I'm sorry," Blossom said. The ocean floor was uneven and covered in slippery seaweed. Pippa was amazed at how sturdy Blossom was as she laid it on. "Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're clumsy," Pippa told her. "And not now, aren't I?" Blossom said happily. "'Cause I'm really concentrating. I'm not worrying that everybody's watching and laughing at me." When they were up from an arm's length from the rocks, Blossom suddenly stopped and waved. "Oh, horsefly!" she exclaimed. "The current's too strong. This is as close as I can get."